Look at, lo and behold, it revealed this continuation, ye hue given life, as something ye hue's light shines on, an heir of this kingdom, also like certainly surely here I am, one who will add, pointing to persons or things. This breath of life revealed in man, this arm, and hand trusted, this deed, handiwork to physically observe, this entry of it, this door hung low, also like extension, power, agency, offering of a hand, a stretching out of a hand to, a bringing deliverance to, gaining success, by force, side, part, tenon of this tabernacle, into possession of, into this power of, delivered over, by instrumentality of, entrusted to, this open hand by charge, a creditor, custody, debt. This, chief of offspring, this kingdom, and heirs of life, as something shines light on. This, palm of hand, around this staff, open, that, subdues, makes to physically observe, also like Yechum, his identity, I am myself, here, guide, rest. Anointed, nailed to secure, as a son, heir, to face this front, divide from that ox, to this chief, also like to lift, carry, bear, take, forgive, accept in advance. Arise to marry, obtain pardon, receive respect, freshness, newness and revival. Lose oneself. Look at this man, life, this handiwork, movement of this, chief mark and sign, covenant and signature, identification of people, places, things. Look at this breath of man, also like you, and stands for an agreement or covenant by two, where a sign or mark of such agreement gets made as a reminder. And hooked to this, anointed, also like pegs, a peg that fastened curtains, screens, and coverings of this tabernacle. Divided, destroyed, changed, and of, to, from this authority, goal, staff, and control, to, protect, lead, teach, bind. Allowed, also like to, throw, cast away, reject, of one's own counsel, stone, body. A hand thrust to physically observe, a head and topmost person, for and to, rule. This first possession and inheritance of man, revealed also, like to throw, shoot, cast, direct, instruct, a teaching. To control toward this authority, this goal, this staff, look at this life of man. On his side, desire that, who that got hunted, this authority, goal of this chief, also like rib, side of chamber, this temple, tabernacle, ark, to limp. This means favoring one side. Hooked, connected, anointed to this anointed security, to join to this chief, strength and power to author, powering to bind, yoke, lead also like toward, to, in regards to, motions to, or against, for sake of, on account of rule or standard. A staff, goal, and protection with no chief, also like no wood, but a person wielding, do not, let not of disorder to, no value, powerlessness, to otherwise without wisdom. To look as a man, indeed, handiwork, physically observing, also like to exist, come to pass, as, arise at a place of, committing, to have breath, character, done, to go earthwards. To see a colored knowing of this shade, not covered, divided, destroyed, bitten, pressed, and consumed from breath. Life, also like to do, make, perform, to dress, trying to exercise sovereignty, over, work, for, deal with, do signs of, intercourse with, make something, like a name for, war, spending days displeasing. This palm of hand, around this staff, open to tame and subdue, allowed to get, nailed to secure. Add to this, anointed blowing, word, command, head and topmost person, top rule, first possession and inheritance. Also like price of a life, a ransom, bribe, redemption price, atonement money, propitiation, as a bringing of nearness again, to appease favor on and on, properly cover, from this lifted up sea, upheaval and people in tumult. Chaos not connected with this, anointed head and person from this beginning, this topmost, first rule, possession and inheritance, door, which got lowered and through this gate, also like descent, a slope, decline, descending from one's own place to ascend back to YHUH, from this lifted up water, upheaval, blemish against connecting to this anointed, blood to join things to this topmost person man, top rule, first person in possession, to inherit by and through this, mark and sign of this covenant, identification of people, places, and things, also like a seal of gall, gallbladder, bitter thing, bile, venom and bitterness, weak rebellion, as if trying to prevent this word, command, blowing, to scatter into openness, as if trying to divide from this sun, day, father, encompassing, gathering, also like to clap, as a mocking clap, clap one's hands, or with another clapping hands as if from satisfaction, can portray an idea of perceived sufficiency or adequacy. Outside this wall divided, trying to overturn this food, feed, and crown of this sun and father, day and sun on this horizon, also like obstinacy, bound and restrained, as if stronger than to try to catch fast, behave self-valiantly. Away from this family, inside this tent floor plan of this sun, father, and day, to try to divide, make a line, to face this front, try to change, habit, repeat, also like request, require, strive after, still seeking to find, of YHUH, as of tumult in a sea, when, seeing and experiencing, heeding and understanding. This covering, hanging down tent door, also like slipping, tottering, shaking, unsteadiness, unworthiness. From this, mouth word, command adds, blowing, a, sword, either to this support, pierced and hated, hand of this staff with a thorn, to grab, take hold of, established to prevent a turning outside, this tent wall, also like Passover to Passover, this deliverance festival of the victim, exemption, Passover offering, to soothe, this offspring of this snake, reflective and shiny, instead of this anointed with fixedness, to see, watch, heed, try to understand, get covered by, also like to shake, wander, move to and fro, fear, uncertainty, instability, to quiver, vibrate, waver, a fugitive, made to go up and down, made to go away, removed, scattered, shaken, and sifted. Vagabonds to try to change. Wag head as in mockery, stagger like a drunkard of mariners in a storm, instability like a harlot. From this word, blown and blowing, spoken command, scattered from this anointed line, also like to reel, stumbled in judgment, and get nailed to this anointed fixed security, this chief might of this lifted up sea, unknown, this tent peg, anointed seed, and heir of this kingdom of Yah given life, that which Yah shines light on. To behold, also like faithfulness, fidelity, steadfastness, trust, security, stability, established, confirmed, support, to stand firm, to build up, foster, nurse, permanence, quiet, true, certain, bold of encouragement, to take that right-hand road, make oneself alert as a portion. This means what comes from something else, as one kind instrument, manet. This means as a unit of measurement, as a craftsman. This means as one firm in his talents. Of this chief, of this lifted up sea, this heir kingdom to perpetuate that YHUHE given life, something that YHUH shines light on. Also like a speaker's confidence in truth, to verify, confirm with confidence. Subdued and or allowed by this hand, deed, handiwork to physically observe, also like for surely indeed in order that to burn, that which causes movement, walking, gathered as a carrying camel, a house, floor plan of breath and life, connected by this anointed, also like high, exalted, lofty, lifted up, of dignity, honor, these divided to face this front, lifted up waters, pressed and sharpened. By this hand, physically observe it, away from those. Many waters, people, chaos, blemish, also like heavens, sky, abode of YHUH and as character. This and these, many waters of blood, chaos, blemish, tumult, as if, mighty strengths, from this chief head and person, man, in topmost rule, inheritance and possession, where man on his side try to lie in wait, hunt, etc. Also like earth, land, ground, country/IEs, nations, wilderness, common, place of bruising, bottom. This palm of hand with a staff, open to subdue, ela, this perpetuation, ye shall given, also like so therefore, rightly surely established, prepared of degree how much more, according to such conditions, upon ground of such conditions, a straight way, also as when a seed opens, roots form a base of a plant by going down into soil. A plant rises out of soil, forming a stalk of a plant. A tree stands tall and firm with a strong root system, walking and moving from inside this family house, with this family floor plan to behold, revealed, this anointed hook of security, also like high, higher, exalt, raised up, place plowed, dug into for planting crops, a helmet, tower, husbandman. This pathway and gate, door person and man, rule, topmost and first possession, inheritance, this palm of hand with this staff, to subdue, tame, handiwork, deed, and physical observation, also like way, this road, path, journey, manner, course of life, a guiding to shoot, then that blemish on those waters of blood, not this pathway and door, first rule, possession, and topmost inheritance, a palm of hand with staff that subdues, allows, that chaos of this, many people, of you, fixed, and this tent peg, which hooks to secure to this, anointed through blood, to lift up as waves can, into this sea, inside from, outside, a tent wall dividing to face this front, sharpening any, to go, inside this family house, and tent floor, plan by this. Tent floor plan, mark covenant, this, identification of people, places, things. This arm and hand, handiwork, physically observed, also like thought, purpose, plan, devices, intention, interpenetration, value, then this. Chaos, blood, as if might, of many, that, drink, what they might lift up. Outside this tent wall. Separating in with teeth, consumption, changing, split from this family house, tent floor plan, mark and covenant of this, hand, arm, thrust deed, to make handiwork, and for physical observation. Instead, curved hands, also like thoughts, esteeming, computing, cunning, value, imputations, designs, inventions. Strengths which power have power of a leader, to cut, shake, and make ready that which continues, or that of snakes, that you given life, something yas shines light on, and of that made, to physically observe that as many people, also like ears, in audience, hearing, balance. This means as a pair of scales used for weighing, an ear or ears as a place to listen, to determine balance. Bound to them to get, taught, led, for revelation for these people. Also like behold there, those, as such. And not connected, anointed to this anointed, joined as a goal to control toward this staff. No, chief, also like not, nor pathless, idle. This means worthlessness without wisdom. Idle, this means an image without power. Physically observing of this deed, doing handiwork, facing this front, changing, splitting, blemish from water, chaos from blood, tumult from drink, lifting up and heating, experiencing, and understanding this coverage of this nailed security, this anointed, also like hearing intelligently, obey to hear with interest, responding appropriately to yield. Strengths of mouths into blow, of sword and command, also like nostrils, face, nose, bound to them to get, taught, led, for revelation. These people, also like behold they, those as such, and not connected, anointed to this anointed, joined, a goal as control toward, a staff with no chief, also like not, nor no pathless, idle. This means worthlessness without wisdom, idle. This means an image without power, physically observing from this topmost, possessing and inheriting from inside this tent wall, and hooked to this anointed to continue in perpetuation of this YHUH given kingdom of life as something YHUH shines light on, not this shiny reflection of snakes, also like to smell, perceive, enjoy, wind, made quick of understanding, to blow, prescribed path, millstone, refreshment. Thrust, trying to make, physically observe. Consumed, split, to break, also like existent substance that may, as if a gate, door lowered from this topmost, beginning as if a rule, first possession, inheritance trying to subdue, tame, also like a way, road, path, journey, manner, conduct, as if an arm in handiwork, thrust, as if deed, to try to get, physically observed, as if divided, from this topmost rule, first possession and inheritance, from the beginning, also like straight, rightness, uprightness, righteousness, level of way, pleasing in the eyes of YHUH, equity. From this chief, as ox, strength-making, physically observing, if then, divided, consumed, bitten, also like a man, person, individual, husbandman, of blood-thirst, mortal, if, upon when, connected and joined, to this anointed, fixed to this, chief of, this tent wall, this topmost rule, first person and man, possession and inheritance, through physically observing, this deed, mark, sign, covenant, and identification of people, places, things, revealed, also like latter time, an outcome, after part, burn, a man outside in a desert sun turns pale and hot, time to come, white, a bleaching from a sun. A gate, not this door, lowered from this topmost beginning, rule and first possession, inheritance, trying to subdue, tame, also like a way, road, path, manner, undertakings, customs, to waters possibly chaos, unknown, if not, hooked to, this secure, et, this anointed, this mark, sign, covenant, strong indicator, identification of people, places, things, strength, also like cessation, Sheol, morality, chaos mark, a length of time that something exists and ends has commonality with checkmate,